morning on the show thread,
Grant.
as we prepared for production on this fine broadcast for you, we were acknowledged by Grant Hill that he would be taking the private jet home.
Man. Is that Calvin?
That's the little people. Yeah.
Who's the dog? Putting my business all out in the street.
We're going west, Zeke.
Man.
We're going west.
The best part is, first of all, I'm driving without my glasses, and we're safe. That's good.
Casey, you look bigger, man. Like
I
the same
appreciate
size
that.
as Dennis.
It's a booster seat. I'm wearing, it's sponsored by 3DLifestyleBrand.com. It's sitting next to me. James Harden of the Rockets on center court, looking to take on the Nuggets.
Step back.
4-3, that is a 4-point play because he gets fouled again. Meanwhile, Russell Westbrook, aggressive. First half, all game long. Second spectrum, take us in, show us. More Russ in the post, G.
Yeah, you see, they're very efficient, taking his time, backing down a smaller player. He's a very sort of underrated post player. Russell got it going early for the Rockets.
Working on Jamal Murray. Russ had 28 and 7 assists. Lead at the break with 17. Joker and company trying to come back. Jokic had 21, 8, 4 assists. And Monte Morris played good basketball. Zeke on the floor at 18 off the bench.
Yeah, he gives them that spark off the bench. He's exactly what they needed, but it just wasn't quite enough tonight.
Finds Beasley here. Sidestep and a 3-ball of his own. Cuts the lead to 3. But Candace, it's all just toying around because then James says, I'll take it from here.
Yeah, when you have one of the best closers in the game, can go to the basket, can get a shot. Everybody in the gym knows he's going to go step back right, Grant. But he still gets it off.
It is amazing watching the defense where they almost want to do hands behind their back. We've even seen that. It's just, he's going to find a way you could foul him, even if you don't think you could foul him. No foul here. The Houston Rockets continue to get wins, except that whole Christmas thing that happened against the Warriors, who they probably don't have to see in the playoffs this time. They win by 26. Harden also becomes the leading scorer of the decade. And for dessert, a chat with our 3D.
All right, guys, here with James. James, let's talk about you guys' defense tonight. You pretty much took Denver out of their game in the second half.
That was the game plan. We know how great of an offensive team they are. They got a lot of ball movement. Jokic like to make a lot of passes to the guards. Their guards are very aggressive, so we wanted to be physical with them, make every shot for them tough. And we did that throughout the course of the game. They made a little run in that third quarter, but we sustained it, got some stops when we needed to, and pulled away.
When you come into each game, you know you're named the top of the scouting report. Slow down James Harden. What are you looking for? How do you attack so good each night?
Get to that bucket and find that rim. And then when the double teams come and the triple teams come, find open teammates. But I think we did an unbelievable job. We're happy to have Eric back for his second game. So once we get a rhythm and he finds his rhythm, we'll be even better.
I know you haven't heard yet, so I'll tell you now. You have the most points, over 19,000 points in this decade in all the NBA. When you hear that, what goes through your mind?
All glory to God, man. From where I started at, coming off the bench, when I was drafted, to the work that I put in every single day, to now being in the position that I am, it's all hard work. Obviously, glory to God, but it's all hard work, and you can do anything if you put your mind to it.
Appreciate you.
Love.
Well, working hard against those triple teams and with a little help from his friends along the way. And the big time for this time, of course, Russ. How about the highest scoring duos in a single month in the last 50 years? The last couple of months on the docket heading into 2020, both December and November. That guy Shaq we know well, and Kobe back in 2003, the highest output. Warriors have put up plenty of points over the years. We point to some family love like father, like son. Glenn Robinson III, layup. You like inside? If you name the third, you got to hit threes. He hit 15 in the quarter. The drive here, Candace, big first half for Glenn.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, the Warriors just come out and they just have played hard, especially in the last couple games. They've strung some wins together because of that.
They are up by 2, but then the institution in San Antonio that is Patty Mills gets going. 18 points, 5-11 from 3. I feel like 10 years from now we'll all do another highlight. Hey, look, Patty Mills, 15 more points in a big quarter. I mean, it seems like he's been there forever. All successful ones, though. G for him. Meanwhile, that's like way down. Damian Lee, as the clock expires, 20 points, 7 boards for him. DeMar. Grant led with all scores at 24.
Yeah, the closer down the stretch, hitting a big shot for the Spurs, the mid-range game for the Roses.
More Glenn Robinson III. He had 25. Steve's had the coach, I would say, a little bit differently, Zeke, than he has done over the years, but they have found a way to get guys really to elevate their game.
Well, the thing that he's really teaching, he's going back to the fundamentals. He's teaching the team how to play hard, and there's only one way to play when they come out and give that kind of effort.
LaMarcus Aldridge misses the game-winning attempt, locked up at 100. And then DeJounte Murray takes off. He had 15.6 boards, 5 assists. Basically, Candace owned the overtime for Pop's Club.
Yeah, he was huge in the overtime, coming up with that steal, coming up with some big threes, big baskets. This is what people expected of him before he injured his ACL last year. It's nice to see him finding his rhythm.
Dubs, they won 4 in a row. And then since then, maybe a little bit of reality. But again, even scoring Burks has played very well, by the way. Now healthy, 28 points. We move on. 28, that's nothing for Luka and company. Good one between Dallas and OKC. Looks has been a little bit better than okay, I would say. Of all the different talents, Zeke, what impresses you the most jumps off the page about Luka?
Well, his understanding of the game. We know that he can dribble, shoot, and pass, but his understanding of defense, how to get a shot off, how to make his teammates better, and just understanding the moment and the timing of the game.
No one understands the moment. That guy, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, closed the playoff year as a rookie, 22.6 assists, no turnovers against Golden State. Was ready for this. He's brought that here. He and Chris Paul and Schroeder. That guard group's played very well, Grant.
Very well, surprisingly, and has this team in the playoff picture right now, which nobody thought in the preseason.
Gallo, you probably don't want to ever think of leaving him open there. Could do a lot of things. He's been healthy. Knock on wood, fingers, they're crossed. Lead one. The cross and inside with the flotation device. Too easy. Doncic, 4-point lead. Buries. Over Maxey. But not done yet. How about some work? Doncic, waiting. Late Tom Petty said the waiting is the hardest part. But in this case, not that difficult. Doncic, buried. Another three-pointer. The other way, CP3, though, in the corner. Some extra space and time. And crushes. He's played well, Grant.
He played very well, had a good attitude, and helped leading this young team and making them feel like they can beat anybody.
Doncic had 35, but CP3 and company coming right back at him. Able to cut the gap to 1. Under a minute to go. More Chris Paul. Candace, big shots. We've seen this before.
And that's the thing. I mean, Chris comes alive in the fourth quarter, as he showed there, and can close a lot of games.
Kleber trying to find a way to lock it up. Doncic. You get the looks you want. Really, Zeke, that's all you can ask for. Didn't make the 2 buckets, but got 2 good looks.
No, that's all you can ask for, and you can tell that he's terribly frustrated with missing that shot, because those are shots that he normally knocks down, especially in crunch time.
You'd like to be frustrated with 35, 10, and 7 rebounds. Nice night for Doncic. CP3 down the stretch was brilliant. Gallinari with 20, 13 of the 17 points that CP had were in the fourth quarter. Let's kind of hit a bunch of things here in the Western Conference from some of the highlights that we covered. Let's start with OKC. Candace, what has it told you about Chris Paul, the way he's handled this transition, going from where he was and what Houston was supposed to be to where he is now? And what about that group as a whole for you?
I think the biggest thing when Chris Paul landed in OKC, we saw that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is their future. And the way that he is able to mentor him, which Shai is having a phenomenal year. I mean, scoring the basketball defensively, knocking down the three. But where CP3 takes over in the fourth quarter, you don't see a lot of him in the first half and in that third quarter. But when it's time to win a ball game, the ball is in his hands and it's in the right place. Yeah,
for Shai, by the way, how about being pushed by Bev, coached by Doc, and now sitting there with CP3? Not bad. Let's go Rockets, Zeke, for a thought. Look, they could put up a lot of points. Harden special. Are he and Westbrook better than he and Paul were as you look long-term of a season?
Well, long-term, you have to say yes. Westbrook and Harden should and I think will be better, only because of the style of the play that they have under D'Antoni with their system. I think Westbrook will continue to get better as the season goes on. Harden will be Harden, but I think Westbrook is starting to figure out, and D'Antoni is starting to figure out how to coach Westbrook.
Grant, everybody's looked at Staples and said, okay, the two LA teams, maybe one of them wins out. And then Denver still had really all the same players, added Grant, who's fit in. You talk, they always do, Porter Jr. How about, though, the ups and downs? I mean, they come up with disappointing defensive efforts. Are you surprised by that with their coaching and their personnel in Denver?
Well, I mean, look, 2 years ago they weren't in the playoffs. They had a magical season last year. Now their expectations. And they're young. This is a young group. And so they're figuring it out. They're understanding now that they're a marked team. And so there's been some inconsistent play. Obviously, they're very talented.